Ah.
All right, we're up and running. Try now. I don't know what takes so long sometimes.
All right, now you're up. Now click on live.
I don't know what takes so long sometimes. Oh well.
Yeah, it looks like the font you're using there is called Impact.
Yes. Yes, I can change that. I'll change that right this second. Let's see
Mm,
here. Because there's nobody on right this second. So
not
hold on
now.
one second.
We're
And
getting, getting serious, a real serious echo now.
what did you say it was? Sans serif? The font you said it
Sans
was what?
dash serif.
Sans dash serif? Yeah, I don't have that in my list here. Yeah, I don't have it in my list.
We know to be closer would be.
Oh well. I'll try it again later at some point. All right, what do you want to get started even though there's no one on?
Yeah, why not?
Yep, okay.
Might have to scoot out a couple times because I'm drowning myself.
Because of what? You go to the bathroom?
I'm drowning myself in water because I'm trying to. I think it's trying to eliminate some of the stain.
Okay. You're ready.
Who's this?
Okay, so we're back. Another live session Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And did you watch any of the golf over the weekend, Bobby?
No.
What a surprise! What a surprise answer.
I was working on all those. I was working on the YouTube channel at the time.
Well, I watched some of the golf just to stay up on what's going on, and Luke List was your winner. It was a Saturday finish. Did you know that they're finishing on Saturday?
No.
No.
Well,
Well,
you can
you're
send my
you're a
Roman
bunch
notes.
of fun tonight. Yeah, they finished on Saturday to avoid conflict with the NFL football championships. They PGA Tour knew they couldn't compete, so they had this in the works for a while now for a Saturday finish, which I think was smart. It was a little weird watching on Saturday, watching the kind of the finish, feeling like it was a Sunday, but that's what happened. They finished on Saturday, and Luke List was your winner. And oddly enough, one of the guys I used to work with at the Bears Club was caddying for him, so he picked up a nice payday for a little over $100,000, which was good to see for him. But Luke List, I thought we'd go over his golf swing a little bit. Some
All
of
he
the
got
things.
was 100 grand for the tournament.
It was a little over $1 million was the purse. So no, the caddy, not Luke, the caddy.
Uh-huh.
You know the 10% rule.
Oh, it was a caddy. Okay, I got
Yeah.
you.
Yep. So I thought
Not
we'd go.
if, not if he's caddying for Cooch.
Exactly, unless you're caddying for Kuchar, El Cheapo. What was his nickname? Um, wasn't El Cheapo. It was something along those lines. Poor guy got a bad rap that week.
He's going to end up getting the same table.
Say what? I can't hear you.
I said you're gonna get the same rap as the table for one.
Yeah, you got to speak up. I can barely hear you. Table for one, exactly.
I know, and it's getting like a horrible echo tonight.
You're having an echo?
Yep, I'm gonna try something. Yep. All right, now do I sound better?
Oh, yeah, way better.
Okay. There you go. All right, fixed it.
All right. So,
I like this guy's setup.
What'd you say?
I like his setup.
Yeah,
I like his setup.
he's pretty conventional when it comes to his golf swing. There's not a ton. Let's see if I got a different view of his setup there. Let's see. Here's a little different view of the setup. Yeah, pretty athletic with the setup, and a lot of what he does in his golf swing is pretty conventional. It's not some of the funkiness that we've looked at and talked about recently. So pretty standard setup and pretty traditional golf swing when it comes to it.
Look where his ball's teed up. I mean, how's he going to catch it on the upswing having it teed up way back there?
That's a good point. And I mean, it is teed up pretty high. He's got really high hands and a nice coil here. I love his coil here, and specifically how much he lets his hips turn in the backswing. And this leg straightens and this leg has some flex in it. And it's almost to the point where this foot starts to come off the ground. And I love that. That's such a great move to create or take away any kind of tension in there. And I think when you have the tension in there, especially you see all this tension in here, that's when I think you start to get injuries. But by allowing his hips to turn as much as they do, it gives him a nice turn of the shoulders, and it frees up his lower half to where there's not a lot of resistance there. And I like that. I think that's a big key to preventing injury. Like you see in a lot of the old classic golf swings where that front foot comes off the ground.
Yeah, but you look at his right foot, though. Dick Farley would tell you he's losing a little bit in the right foot and the right leg. But you see his right toe is coming off the ground.
Yeah. Yep. So I'd agree there. I'd say that this foot needs to flare out just a little bit to stay on the ground. Let's take a look from a pressure mat. I know you're a big fan of these pressure mats, right? So here he is with the driver, with his pressure mat.
Hikomoto-san.
Yes, Terry Yashimoto. Left foot, right foot. And let's watch, just on the pressure mat, what goes on here in the backswing, what we were just looking at. So let's watch him get to the top of the swing. If I can find it. Where are you? Come on. Come on, computer. And one of the things to note with where he is at the top of the swing here, if I can get it there, is the pressure versus the heel and the toe. And what you'll see is a lot more pressure, if I can get it at the right point, on the toe as opposed to into that heel. You can see as he's going back here, at this point, you see how here's the heel, here's the toe. You can see how he's 50-50 here. And what we'll see with most players is you get a lot more pressure into the heel as they go back. And he doesn't quite get all the way into that heel. See if it'll go a little bit more for me. All this technology is so great when it works. Either way, I completely agree with you, Bobby, as far as who were you just referencing?
Dick Farley.
Yeah. I would definitely agree with you to that with that analysis on. But there's a lot of windup nonetheless. So that's kind of my point. He's one of the longest players out there. It creates a lot of windup.
Well, look at him. He's a big kid.
Yeah. Yep. And one of the important things about his golf. Yeah.
Notice his left arm right now. Notice how it's flexed.
Yes.
You hear everybody talk about the stiff left arm all the time. Stiff left arm.
Yes. I agree with you.
Soft left arm. It's faster.
Yeah, look at that. That's such a good point there. That this arm, if we just draw a line straight out, look at how much bend he's got in that arm. That's quite a bit. It's a good pickup right there. I knew I hung out with you for some reason.
Don't believe it. Anything I'm telling you, I haven't stolen from somebody else. So
that's right. But one of the things that makes his golf swing work so well is how he posts up on his left leg there. And if we look at it from the pressure mat standpoint, here on the right, take him down to impact. What you'll see is all of his pressure and weight is forward. Okay? And that's telling us a lot about how he's releasing the golf club. So he's using that front leg as a post to really whip the arms and hands around. And what we see in modern day players is that their trace, right, this white ball here, this center of pressure, actually goes backwards in their golf swing. And the reason it goes backwards in their golf swing is for them to swing up on it. So, your whole question there, Bobby, about how's he going to swing up on it with the ball position where he's at, well, I would argue that he doesn't. So that's a really good pickup on your end. Without even, we haven't looked at this video at all together, so that was pretty astute on your end to say, well, how is he going to hit up on it from there? Well, in my opinion, without seeing any measurements from data, would be that he doesn't. Especially with this type of center of pressure so far forward. And I could be completely wrong here. I don't do a ton of pressure mapping and things along those lines, but what we see with a lot of players is that white ball goes backwards through the hit and then eventually goes forward. And in this case, it doesn't. It stays forward, which to me is an indication of how the club is moving down. So pretty good analysis, Bobby, on your part without really just kind of seeing video. And it's we could pick up a lot from video without having to have all these fancy machines like the pressure mats and and the TrackMan, don't you think?
Oh yeah, I mean that's what we do a lot when we're doing our online golf instruction and that's the difference between somebody who knows what they're doing and somebody that doesn't is that I can sort of start the video and I haven't even reached the top of the backswing. I already know. Oh, here's what the problem is. Because that's when we can get the lesson done in a reasonable period of time. And there's the problem. If somebody's looking and looking and looking and looking, if they can't see what the problem is right away, that they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Well, we want to take a look at your golf swing. We can help you out with your swing. So make sure you upload it to our website at quickfixgolf.com, and we'll send you a free evaluation, free analysis, and Bobby Lopez himself will do it. How about that? For free.
Yeah. You only have to look at half the golf swing. If I look at how a guy takes the club back, I already know what he's got to do. If he ever hit a good shot in his life, I know what he has to do. He might be complaining that he's spraying the ball all over the place and say, sure, you're spraying it because you can't pull it off. No, neither could anybody else. Nicklaus couldn't hit it from where you are.
Right. Yep. So take advantage, get those cell phones out, send us some videos of your golf swing. And we are live on Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. If you want to join the gang, if you got some questions for us, put them right in the chat box there. We've got a few viewers on tonight watching. So put some of those questions in the chat box, and we'll answer your questions. So,
just don't send any videos of your wife, but we got enough of those.
Or your husband. It depends on your preference nowadays. No big deal. So back to that front post and how he really whips the hands over and releases the golf club. He
looks like a giant Gary Player.
There you have it, right? So from here, he really whips those hands around and releases the golf club really well. So I thought to myself, it's a perfect example of what Jim Flick would do with his chair. He'd get the chair out and hit some shots from the chair to demonstrate how the arms and hands work in a golf swing. So I'm going to treat you with a little surprise and show you what that drill's all about. All right, so here's my Jim Flick impression here, where I'm sitting on a chair.
Where's that other chair you're sitting on that has a big hole in the middle?
That's right. And it's a little chilly here in Myrtle Beach. It was a real nice day today, though. It was in the mid-50s, so...
It could be chilly when you sit on that chair, too.
This is one of those nicer folding chairs I got from Costco.
Make heated toilet seats. That's just a new invention right there. Heated toilet seats.
Exactly.
We're millionaires.
You can practice
protection right away.
Practice your golf swing in the bathroom. Drills that you can do at home right on your toilet seat. How about that?
Your game is going down the toilet. Your game is going down the toilet.
And don't forget to put any kind of comments you have in the chat box if you're amused.
Oh, that's right.
But anyway, back to where I was going with this. And this is how Flick would hit some shots, just sitting in the chair like so. And it was amazing how flexible he was at his age. So for me, this is my best attempt to kind of turn my shoulders sitting in the chair. And that's not bad. Not bad for me. And now here's the key. My lower half is so quiet because I'm sitting in the chair. I'm strictly just swinging my arms and hands. And you'll see how those arms and hands swing by in the finish here. And then swing up over my shoulder. So there wasn't really any lower body action. and my arms and hands were primarily the power source in there.
Hey, wait a minute, your lower body wasn't that quiet. I just heard something.
And this is what what I would imagine is the feel that Luke List has in his golf swing. It's the feel that I would imagine that he has.
I don't know. He looked pretty busy in the feet to me. His right foot's up off the ground in a hurry. Watch him. Take him to the top of the backswing and watch his right knee.
All right, hold on one sec.
We got a drill for that. It's called the Tanya Harding drill. You smack him on the knee with a. You know what she said when she came to the tournament? She said, "There's more golfers here than you can shake a stick at."
Oh dear.
There he goes. He pulls the hands over.
Yep. So I don't disagree with you. It's a lot of lower action with the footwork there. I don't disagree with you there, but I think because he's swinging it at such a fast pace, he's got to have some footwork there.
Oh yeah.
But he definitely has a lot of arm and hand action there. Is kind of my point with this. And
well, here's the great thing from his standpoint in this business today. He could have a really good week, win a lot of money, and it could last him for a while.
You just took the words right out of my mouth.
You won first prize and was $2,500. That wasn't going to last you.
Yep. So, where does that leave us with a consistency standpoint? You're absolutely right. You took the words right out of my mouth. You just have to do it well a few times a year at that level and take home a few paychecks. And he's won a few times on tour. This is not his first win, but you don't see him up there every single week like you do with the number one player in the world right now, Jon Rahm, who...
Yeah, but you can finish tied for 50th and make some money.
Sure. Oh, yeah. There's a ton of loot out there that they're playing for every week.
I mean, I think it's great. It's because golf has grown as much as it has. I mean... But they can't let it get to their heads too much, because now next thing you know, they have an exercise specialist, they got their swing guru, they got their massage therapist, they got their and the massage therapist was a good idea. I wish I could have had one of those.
Right.
I did for a while, but the woman I was married to then found out.
So, so if you want to do a drill to feel what it's like to swing your arms and hands a lot faster and kind of quiet your body up, this chair drill will really help you create that feel. Here's me swinging from a down the line standpoint. And I'll tell you what, my golf swing, I didn't think about it when I hit these shots. And the golf club got in some really nice places.
You can shallow out the shaft real nice. If you're real steep, it's a good drill to do.
And look at how much rotation I have of my arms and hands there. Because my body my hips don't have any rotation to it. Look at how my shoulders are really slow. So my arms and hands are really fast. And that's the whole concept of this drill. And kind of the takeaway, at least in my opinion, of how Luke List plays the game. A lot of throw with the arms and hands, a lot of fast hand action in there. As opposed to the number one player in the world, Jon Rahm, who doesn't have any arm and hand action. But everybody plays the game differently, and you've got to know what's going on in your golf swing. And if you don't know, you got to get your cell phone out and send us your video so we can help you out. We'll help you, and we'll do it for free. Bobby Lopez himself will do the analysis.
Don't tell him that. They won't send it in.
Yep.
if somebody's really steep, this is really good drill. The problem is doing that on the driving range somewhere. Everybody's going to think you're nuts. You just say, look, I'm lazy. I sit down while I practice. What can I tell you?
Yep.
I'm on Social Security now. I got to take it easy. See your shaft? See how your shaft shallows out nicely?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty strong right there. That golf club.
I tell you what, with a lot of the older people that are playing golf today, I tell you what, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a chair like that. They had a hole in it. They had a little potty thing underneath it. You wouldn't have to leave it on. You could just sit there and hit balls all day.
Yeah, you should talk. I think you need one of those right there in your office. I'm surprised you've stayed in here this long with us. You haven't had to go to the bathroom. It's like a record for you, 30 minutes.
I'm on a record, yeah. I'm on a record.
Or maybe you're wearing some of those underwear tonight. Is that what you're wearing?
Depends.
Depends, yeah.
I only put those on if I'm going on a plane.
Yeah,
In case there's turbulence, you can't get to the bathroom.
Oh, dear.
It has to be an emergency. That's why I pick the seat on the plane anymore. Before I'm getting on the plane, I look and see where's the restrooms, and I try and find a seat that's right close to the restroom.
Right, exactly.
And get an aisle seat, I'll drive everybody nuts. Excuse me, I gotta get out again. What the hell's the matter with this Cuban? He keeps getting out of there.
That's right.
That's what you get for drinking all that tequila.
Yep.
Swallow the worm.
And going forward, this week we're at Pebble Beach, which is always fun. The Pebble Beach Pro-Am, great golf course.
Are we going to Pebble Beach?
Yeah. Well, let me check with the accountant and see what he says.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to approve the trip, but that's where the golf is this week. And
what the hell? I mean, you spend that kind of money to play on Poana greens. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. But I grew up playing on Poana green, so it doesn't bother me. I'm kind of used to the Poana.
It's just the Poana in Florida was bad because it got very prickly,
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know,
you couldn't cut it real short like you guys do up north. You can cut it short up north, and it's like a carpet.
Yep. Poana is a type of grass where the seed head gets quite large at certain times of the year, and your ball rolls over the seed head and can bounce it offline a little bit, especially later in the day when the grass is growing. So it can definitely be an obstacle when you're putting, believe it or not. And that's why a lot of players don't like playing on the West Coast because of some of the Poana greens over there. So, but it's part of the game. Not every green is a perfect pool top. So, but I grew up on Poanas at Yale in the Country Club of Fairfield, and it was the grass that we had, and that's what we knew. And like you said, yeah, you can cut it really short at certain times of the year, and it'll be like a carpet. But
you have it in Virginia where I'm at, and I'll tell you what, in July and August it dies.
Right. Yep.
And you got dirt.
And then you get dirt.
You're putting on dirt, which isn't that bad either. I mean, what the heck? I mean, when I grew up in Miami, we had Bermuda greens, of course. And back then, the technology wasn't like it was today. They would really cut longer. I mean, that ball would look good in the air. It would hop. You smacked it into the hole.
Yeah.
It's 3-4 footers. You went for the back of the cup.
Yep. Very different nowadays. We're so privileged to have the agronomy and technology. It's really made greens quite different. So, but Pebble Beach this week. Make sure you tune in. We'll have something to talk about next week. See who wins. A lot of cool celebrities you get a chance to watch. Yeah, Bill Murray will be out there again, causing all sorts
he's
of
hilarious.
antics. Yep, all sorts of antics.
He doesn't play that bad either.
No, he's decent. He's decent. I don't think he's ever won the Pro-Am, so he's got quite a bit of.
Yes,
quite
he
a,
did.
Did he win it?
I think so. No, well, I don't know. I remember watching it one time, and he had this tall hat on, and it seemed like he was leading or close. I mean, they were. If they didn't win, they came close.
He's played in it so many years. What was it? It was the Bob Hope for a long time, wasn't it? Do you remember?
Bob Hope.
Wasn't it? I think it was. Before it was the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, I think it was the Bob Hope Classic or something along those lines.
Bob Hope was a great guy, man. He was a great guy. What he did for the troops, going around to all the troops in Vietnam and everything else, and the USO and everything. He always had a show, and I mean, he'd have a hell of a show, and he'd take it out there to the guys. He loved golf.
He loved golf. Yeah, exactly. He loved golf, didn't he?
Yeah, I met Bing Crosby. I never met Bob Hope. I pissed Bing Crosby off.
Or maybe that's what it was. I think it was maybe the Bing Crosby, but go ahead. You pissed him off. What did you do?
But it never fails. I'd written this song. I'd written this because I used to be a musician, believe it or not. And I'd written this song. It was a golf song. And then he was staying at the hotel where I was the director of golf, the pro in Spain. And I put the music into his little cubby box where you put your the key. And then he left it back to me with a little note. He said, "Thank you, Bobby, for teaching me the song, but I don't read music. I do everything by ear." And then I was walking up by the clubhouse and he was coming down. And I saw him and I said, "Oh, Mr. Crosby." I said, "Thanks, I got your note back." And I said, "You don't read music, you do everything by ear?" And he says, "Yeah, I do everything by ear." And I said, "Well, if there's anybody who could do something by ear, it'd have to be you." His freaking ears were so big.
Oh. Nice.
He gave me a stare like you.
And that, my friends, is a true story.
It's a true story. How did I say it? I said, if anybody could do something great by ear, it'd have to be you, Mr. Crosby. You got a pair of antennas right there, boy. Let me tell you.
A pair of antennas.
I was such a jackass. Could I say anything?
Yeah.
Pissed off Nicholas.
Yeah, you got a whole list of people that don't like you. So
I know. My daughter always said, "Daddy, you piss everybody off." I'm good at it. That's what I do.
It's in good fun. Well, we're here Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 p.m. live. And what we want you to do is send in your video. We want to help you out.
Question, for Pete's sakes.
Yes, put some questions in the chat box. That's what we're here for. You get some help with your golf game. Ask us anything you want.
It's like this is the 19th hole. We're having a beer after playing, and we can help. We might think of something if you're shanking or you're. We had one guy that was shanking, and he sent the video.
Yep.
All the way from England.
Yep.
And I haven't heard back. I'm going to check back to see what I told him helped him at all.
Yep. We're helping people from all parts of the world.
And he was shanking it. When he sent the video, he was shanking it.
He was shanking it.
And you got to think of this. I mean, that takes a tremendous amount of talent. I mean, the club face is pretty big today. To hit that ball on that one little pipe right there, right on the hosel of the golf club, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's another way to think of it. You're a pretty talented guy to be able to hit it right on the neck. Try aiming for it. Try to shank it on purpose.
Yeah, well, we had a workshop today on strike point on the club face. And I asked Austin to hit a shot to intentionally shake it. He couldn't do it. I'm like, come on, are you serious? You can't shank a golf ball on purpose? It's not as easy as you think it is.
No, but see, but there's what our training was different in our day. Like you told me, you said, hit one out on the toe, I can hit it on the toe. Hit one in the heel, I can hit it in the heel. Hit it in the neck, I hit it in the neck. Top it, I can top it.
Yeah.
Because we that's how we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, these younger kids coming up today, all they know how to do is rope it. Just kill it.
Yep.
You know, because we would use different parts of the club face, same way we did with putting, where you put the ball out near the toe of the club and a right to left putt.
Right.
And you put on the heel on the left to right putt. You played with the center of gravity. You use the center of gravity to your advantage. That's why Chichi Rodriguez said that the new modern golf clubs, so they take a lot of the talent out of the game.
Yep, this was all back when dinosaurs roamed the planet.
Oh yeah. What do you expect? They didn't have good clubs. What can they do? No wonder they disappeared. They couldn't get sticks that fit them, so they just killed themselves. I mean, you're a Tyrannosaurus. How are you going to get a decent wedge? I mean, come on.
Well, this was fun. You got anything else you want to add?
Yeah, just you know, don't be embarrassed or feel subconscious about getting out your cell phone and videoing your swing and sending it in. We won't use it here in the show unless you say we can. I mean, you know, if you don't want everybody else seeing the analysis we do for you. But you know, why suffer? Because you sit there trying this, you're trying that, and then you go through, look at all kinds of tips online. Oh, Maron. And this guy said this guy said that, this guy said turn your hips, the other guy said don't turn your hips. Your earlobe is wrong. Your nose is not straight. You're gonna go nuts. We can take it in a minute. I can almost see the setup, and I can almost tell what the hell's gonna go happening just by what the guy's setup is. You know, if he's leaning forward onto his left side, tilted back, you already know he's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be steep. He's gonna come down, hit down on the ball, gonna get a ton of backspin, lose distance. Because otherwise he's got to really invert in order to shallow the shaft out. So you put him in like this with a chair. It's good.
Yep. And we
That's
saw
a good drill.
Yep, we saw it today with the two opposites with Luke List and comparing them to John Rahm. So don't be afraid. Send us your videos. Upload it right to our website. And then catch us Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Here. I'll throw you out a question. Here you go. I still play 30 YO blades, Hogan Apex. Well, you say you still hit 2 clubs more than your playing partners. Number one, those golf clubs are excellent. They're excellent. You know, you got to realize that the lofts are not the same. You know, a 7-iron or like a pitcher wedge back in the days when that club was made was about 50 degrees. Today, a pitcher wedge is 46.
Well, in the Callaway's world, those pitching wedges are 41.
Yeah, ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So don't pay attention to the fact that your friends are hitting a 7-iron further than you're having to hit a 5-iron to get the same distance, because his 7-iron is a 5-iron.
Yep.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with playing with blades. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. But you can, especially as you get older, get a lot of help by having hybrids, and let's say the 4 or 5 hybrid, maybe even a 6 hybrid, and then go with your irons.
I'll tell you one story about Johnny Miller. And speaking of like 7-iron and 6-iron, what Johnny Miller would do is he'd tweak all of his irons to hit them on the numbers, meaning he'd tweak his 8-iron so he hit it 150 exactly, and he'd tweak his 7-iron so it went 160 exactly. So the lofts in there change from club to club to club, so he can hit them, you know, on the number yardages. And you could argue that that's one of the reasons why he was such a great ball striker, where he would take the yardage to the half a yard because he was so precise. So you could definitely argue that fact. But
Interesting you say that, because what about single length golf clubs where the only difference is loft?
right. Yeah.
And you said Deschambeau's having trouble now? He was
He's
doing
just he's injured. He's his back's hurting him and his wrist is hurting him. So all the workouts and exercising and
he needs that massage therapist I was talking about earlier.
But at some point, your body's going to break down if you're doing it at that pace over and over and over again. It's your body's not made to move like that. So it's why tennis players, you don't see them playing into their 40s, because they put so much wear and tear on their bodies, similar to what Bryson's doing. So it's a short career if you're doing what he's doing. So, but we haven't seen enough data yet, so to say, to make any kind of conclusions about Bryson's journey. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
All right. But DDs by day, don't be concerned about your Hogan apex. Hogan made some great golf clubs. He was a fanatic about some of his stuff he made, and ahead of his time, he had some clubs that had a lower center of gravity before people were even doing that.
Yeah.
Remember those Hogans they had that had like a big what the hell do you call it?
Sole.
The sole was really fat, came all the way back.
Yep.
So you get the ball up in the air. So that's the only problem where you got a blade, is that if you can't get the ball up in the air anymore, you got to get rid of the blades.
Yep.
Get something with a lower center of gravity. Get a whole set of hybrids. The hell with it.
Yep.
Don't laugh.
No. Makes the game a lot easier, that's for sure.
I would consider even myself dropping back to like 7-iron on down in real clubs, real irons. 7-iron on down, and the rest are all hybrids.
It's not a bad thing for the average person, but ego gets in the way, and then manufacturers try to sell us, a whole set of clubs, a 4-iron through, a sand wedge, and that's not really what most people need. So not a bad idea, not a bad concept. 7-iron, and then switch over to hybrids. It would help a lot more people.
Same thing I always said. I say here my clubs from 7-iron on down are my clubs to get the ball close to the hole.
Yep.
That's what I'm trying to do. From the 6-iron on up, it's just don't hit it in the crap.
Yeah.
Yep. The rest of the clubs are to move the ball around the obstacle course. Hit it as far as my swing will allow, and keep it out of bunkers, keep it out of the trees, keep it out of the water, keep putting it in the right place. And then when I get within 130 yards of the green in, then you got to be deadly.
Yep.
All right. Well, any other questions? And now we'll call it a night. Well, somebody just put another question. Let me see. The video sounds so much better. Bobby has a little reverb, but minor. You see, I told you I had a little reverb going on.
Yeah.
Here's Alan Carter. Here he says, Darren, can you work on ball sideways with hybrids? I've never hit one. Of course. Go ahead, answer it, Darren. I'll shut up.
Which one am I answering here?
He says, we got two questions. I'll give you the first one first. Can you work the ball sideways with hybrids?
You can, of course you can, but the modern ball is really preventing curvature. It wants to go straighter because of the way it's designed. So, it's and also the MOI, moment of inertia, is so good with a hybrid that it's really tough to get any gear effect. Meaning that if you're hitting it on the toe or the heel, you would have some curvature associated with it. But the golf clubs nowadays, they're so forgiving. If you hit it on the toe, it goes relatively straight. You hit it in the heel, it relatively goes pretty straight. So it's tough to work the ball with the modern day golf clubs, and because of both the ball and the golf club. So it's not as easy as it used to. So
Alan has a question. Says, Darren, do you believe in the overspeed training clubs like Speed Sticks, Stack System?
Oh, yeah. So those speed sticks, listen, I don't think they can hurt, but I was one of the first people to try the speed sticks when I was at the bridge. The company who invented them, I was one of their test dummies early on. And I didn't see much benefit of it. Where I see the benefit is the underspeed training. I'm certified with Jacob Bowden, and my training with Jacob Bowden was all about underspeed training and not necessarily overspeed training. And for those of you who don't know what that means, it's just swinging something that's lighter than a golf club, or swinging something heavier than a golf club. The overspeed would be swinging something heavier, meaning you're slowing things down, building some muscle there. And then the underspeed would be using more of the fast twitch muscles. And think of it in terms of running. If you're running uphill versus running downhill. So if you want to run faster, you got to learn to feel what it's like to run faster, which means running downhill. And that's the same thing with overspeed and underspeed training. It's you're running uphill versus running downhill. And I think there's merit in both, but I think you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck with the underspeed training, at least in my experience, and being around somebody like Jacob Bowden who really knows what he's talking about. And Jacob spent a lot of time around Mike Austin, who was the original long drive champ. You know, he really started kind of taking the golf ball and hitting it a long ways years and years ago.
That's why I'll take the driver as a drill and swap it around. I put the head up near where my hand is and swing the grip.
There you go. There you go.
Really get my hands to go faster. I try to get the hands going from the elbow down faster.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's basically what it is. It's like running uphill, running downhill. And to swing fast, you got to get comfortable with it. So first you got to feel what it's like to swing faster, and that's where that underspeed training will help.
I hope that helped out answer those questions.
Yep.
Well, remember, we'll be back again Wednesday, 6 p.m. Tell your pals, will you?
Yep.
Tell your friends.
Mark it on your calendar and send us some videos. We'd love to go over it here online with you. So until Wednesday, we will see you, and have a good week golfing.
Hasta luego, baby.